Do you know there was a man who became a millionaire just by selling a rock as a pet? Yes, you heard it right. Pet rocks are known as the dumbest toys in the world. They were nothing but these smooth stones from the city of Rosarito, Mexico. They were marketed like live pets in custom cardboard boxes, with nice breathing holes. But nobody ever considered that Gary would ever become a millionaire one day by selling these pet rocks. In the video, you will know about how Gary Dahl became a millionaire by selling rocks as a pet. Let's get started. In the 1970s, Gary Dahl was living a pretty average life. He was a freelance advertising copywriter in California, living in a small cabin with his wife and 2 children. The economy was bad and he was struggling to make ends meet. The story all started from here, when Gary Dahl was hanging out at a bar with his friends when they started complaining about their pets. They were complaining about how pets need to be fed, walked, bathed, and groomed. Besides that, they are often disobedient, become ill, and lose their lives. Dahl thought about this for a while and realized that it could make a funny story. He came up with an idea for the perfect pet: a rock. He joked about it with his friends, then he started thinking about it a little bit more. "It seems like a good idea," Dahl said, "so I decided to try it." His decision paid off. Dahl attracted orders from department stores and toy companies. Bloomingdale's added pet rocks to its catalogs. Neiman Marcus ordered 1,000 of them. The pet rock finally launched. The pet rock was a toy that was launched in the 1970s when there was a lot of negativity in the country. Television had not yet taken its responsibility to rule the advertising world, and most of the movies made during this time were spreading negativity and were based on psychotic thrillers. There wasn't a feel-good atmosphere anywhere in the country. Gary Dahl came up with his idea of selling rock as pets. He knew that his idea made people laugh when there was negativity all over the world at the time, and this made him more excited about the rock pet. The packaging. Who would buy rocks? Well, Dahl had a pretty good idea. During the time he spent with advertising in the earlier years, Dahl knew that people would buy a product if it was packaged well. The rocks were polished and made to look like a visually appealing rock. To make the rock look like a cute, attractive egg, it was placed in the nest of hay. Then he followed the most important point: packaging. The box was the main challenge to make the pet advertising appealing. Dahl made a lot of money through Pet Rock's profit and was chosen with great care. He made everything to research how to make his product more appealing through the packaging, and finally he came up with the idea of boxes like the McDonald's Happy Meal boxes with holes for the pets to breathe. We judge books by their covers. It's a simple old-fashioned adage that can lead us to make all kinds of assumptions about a product based on its packaging alone. For example, did you know that one of the most popular products in history was an ordinary stone? The pet rock came with a detailed care guide and instructions on how to care for your pet rock, like any other pet would come in from the pet shop. And it even had a little nest of hay for it to sleep in. People loved this product because the packaging was so perfect. People loved it so much that they bought millions of copies. They didn't even read what was inside. They just saw something adorable in the package, so they bought it. The most important thing, the manual of the pet rock. He started by creating a manual for caring for your pet rock, which included instructions on how to take care of them during their first few weeks after the sale. This included keeping them on old newspapers instead of keeping them in boxes when they weren't being played with yet. He made his dream come true by becoming the millionaire. During this time, Gary Dahl made it big by selling these boxes for $3.95 per piece. He went to be on the list of millionaires of the USA in a very short span. The pet rock business was a success for Gary Dahl, though it didn't last long. Though he made money off the negative energy in America when launching his pet rocks business, he couldn't replicate his success in his other ventures. He sold a large amount of 1.5 million rocks. Pet rocks, a big deal in the 1970s. People loved them because they were so inexpensive and they could be used as a source of entertainment for you and your pet. The pets couldn't be trained to follow commands like sit or roll over, but they could learn to do other things like attack and play dead. This is why so many people bought pet rocks to read Dahl's funny instructions on how to train their pets. Gary Dahl started Pet Rock Industries as a joke. The idea was that he would release a single pet rock and sell it for $1 each. He would then use the money from the sales of the rocks to buy more rocks and sell them for $2 each, etc. Dahl soon realized that people were so excited about his idea that they had no problem buying the rocks for $1 each, and then reselling them for $2 each, and millions of dollars in profits were made in a few years. Dahl's business grew and he appeared on The Tonight Show many times to talk about how this business started as a joke. He also said that many investors tried to mimic his idea with products such as pet stick, pet poop, etc., but none of these mimicked products were able to impress him. He sold the rock by emotions. Gary Dahl was a man of many hats. As a comedian and investor, he was well known for his dry humor, which is why he was able to sell his pet rock idea so. But while he had a great sense of humor, his real talent was in selling the emotions of his audience. He managed to make people laugh through an emotional connection. The experts who analyzed Dahl's success were right when they concluded that it wasn't about selling a product, it was about selling an emotion. They identified the secret of Dahl becoming a millionaire, and it was not because he sold a product, but because he sold emotions. He timed his moves and launched his funny invention at the time when the moods of Americans were at an all-time low. The best thing about him was he remained grounded after having a huge success. When his pet rock fad vanished after 6 months, he didn't feel depressed. Instead, he moved on to try other different things. That's the lesson we can learn from him. Yes, he was brave enough to put a crazy idea into action, but he was brave in not letting success get to his head. If you've ever wondered how Gary Dahl managed to sell rocks for $3.95, it's because he was a marketing genius. What you need to know about Gary Dahl is that he was not a rocket scientist. He didn't invent the pet rock, or even know that there was such a thing as a pet rock at all, though he did come up with the idea. Gary Dahl sold rocks for $3.95, but he wouldn't have done so if he hadn't had a passion for marketing and sales, which led him to think outside the box about what consumers wanted and how they wanted it presented. One of Dahl's biggest claims to fame is that while he didn't invent the pet rock himself, he did manage to sell millions of them in 6 short years, a feat that no one else has been able to replicate since. So, your next dumb idea might not be as dumb as you think. It could make you rich.